here from the Dark Imp, helping parents to reclaim family time by playing board games together. Today we're going to look at 3 different games that we can call engine builders. Now in an engine builder, as the game progresses, you become more and more powerful. It's a sort of snowball effect. So at the beginning, there's limited resources and limited actions you can take. But as you go through the game, you gather cards or you gather resources that allow you to do more and more powerful things. When you gather these things, they sort of create an engine that takes on tasks for you. Let's have some examples. And today we're looking at quick engine builders because there are quite a lot of really big games like Terraforming Mars, for example, which is on a previous video about weighty games that also are engine builders, but it takes a long time. Those games might last 2 or more hours, to maybe 3. But today I wanted to focus on quicker engine builders. This is really a good game, Splendor. It's very quick. Usually games last about 20 minutes and turns are super quick. As long as you haven't got anyone that is really idling and taking ages to think through every possibility, it runs very quickly. Splendor. Let's see. So in Splendor, you've seen some of the components from Splendor before because they were in my video on my top 10 favourite game components because of these wonderful jewels. So you get these jewel discs of 5 different colours and some special gold ones. Oops, there's the gold one. And as you go through the game, what you're doing is you are either taking 3 of the different coloured gems. So you could, let's say, have a white, a red and a blue, or I guess they are diamond, ruby and sapphire. Or you're taking 2 of the same colour. So you could, for example, take 2 emeralds, 2 green ones. Or you are spending jewels that you already have to purchase cards. So there are cards on the table. They're in 3 separate rows. There are, I think, 4 out on each row, and when somebody buys one, you replenish it straight away. So you can tell this is the bottom row. It's got 1 dot on the bottom. These are the easiest ones to buy. For example, this, you need 2 blue gems and 2 black gems or opals. They're sort of brown, really. So if you give in 4 gems of the right colours, you will get that card. Now, once you've got that card, that gives you a permanent diamond that's always in your hand or on the table in front of you. You can see what everybody else has got all the time. This is your diamond. So this means that in future you could use this diamond as one of the resources to buy cards. So you could buy this one, but instead of needing 2 of these diamonds, you only need 1 because you've got 1 on a card. And so every time you spend these gems to buy these cards, you're getting more and more gems to enable you to buy cards without using any of these, just with the cards on the table. Now, as you get further up in the decks, they become more expensive. So these are the 2, this is the deck 2, which is on the 2nd row up. Actually, again, that's not that difficult to buy, but some of them, this one requires 5 opals to buy. But it gives you 2 victory points. It's the first to 15 victory points. You mainly collect them from these cards, especially the deck 3 cards, which are blue, and they give you more points, but they again use more resources to buy. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to be on the bottom and you're going to work up. It gets very quick as you get near the end of the game. It can take you by surprise if you're not watching what everybody else is doing. You can also buy these special tiles. They just have a cost and a victory point. That's an extra action. Well, that's an action you can take on your go instead of doing the other things. That's a pretty quick engine building game. Splendor. Quite like Splendor, but a bit more complicated, is Gizmos. I probably should have set this up beforehand. Because, oh yes, everything's everywhere. So it's got a rather nice holder in it, and it works just like this. So it goes into here like this, and then you can put all of these different marbles in it. Oh my gosh, there's cards everywhere. So there's loads of different marbles. They go in here and then they come out on the run. And then on your turn, you can pick up a marble, and these are energy. These represent 4 different kinds of energy. I think they're electric and nuclear, and I can't actually remember the different kinds of energy, but they all relate to different things. Then you put them on the table in front of you in your energy ring. And with your energies, you can buy certain cards. So again, like Splendor, there's a sort of tableau of cards out, and you can select from different rows. Some rows are easier to buy from than others. So row number 1, easier to buy from. This is more complicated because there are a number of different things you can do. Here is your sort of, this helps you organise your cards. It's not really a player board, it's more of a sort of an aid to put cards under. So you're going to put your cards under these different things. You can get cards that help you file other cards. You can get cards that give you extra bonuses when you pick things. So it might say, for example, if you pick a blue one, you get to also build a red one. So at the beginning, you have 1 action, I think, on your turn, 1 action. But as you go through the game, the cards that you develop, the cards that you put down in front of you, will give you extra actions. So this says, when you build, that's the build icon, when you build a blue card, you also get a victory point. So when you build a blue card, you get a victory point. This costs 1 yellow energy to build. Then you might have something that says, for example, oh, this is a converter. So this card would go in the converters column here. It's got that icon on the top. It means you can use a yellow energy for any other colour. That's what that means there. So you can have all these different cards, and you can have a card that says when you pick a blue one, you get to build a red one. You might have a card that says when you pick a red one, you get to file a card. You might have upgrade cards, and what you'll end up with is, it starts off with 1 action per turn, but with the cards you get, you can do multiple actions. And so it's very satisfying to build these. This is much more of a sort of engine that build these things that work with each other. So, oh, I've got that and it will slot in with that. And it's really exciting. You take one thing, or you build one thing, and lots of other things happen off the back of that. It's a really good engine building type game. So that is Gizmos. And finally, now look, these are not the only 3 engine builder games. Don't be fooled. There are lots. It's a common mechanism in games. But I wanted to give you a few quicker engine builders. Gizmos is longer than Splendor, but it is a bit, there's more that you can do within it. I guess there's a bit more replayability. Having said that, there are lots of expansions for Splendor, and you can add different things and make different things happen. So, the last game we're going to talk about today is Dominion. Now, this is a deck builder. So, it's just cards. It's a big box, you might think, for just cards, but there are a lot of cards in the box. Oh, that hasn't been put away properly. So, yes, let's just put them, I think those are extra cards, those ones. Right, so the box looks something like this. You have all these different kinds of cards, and they're all labelled so you know where to put everything back. It's really well designed. In your hand, you start off with a hand of 10 cards, and you start off with 7 copper cards. That's the money you can buy things with, and you start off with 3 estate cards. And those are victory points. So whenever you see this symbol, it means victory point. And whenever you see this symbol, it means treasure or money. Okay? And so you start off with those cards in your hand. Now, there are in this box, and there are lots of different versions of Dominion. This box, there are 25 different cards that you can use in any combination in any game. And usually we do this at random, so we'll get we'll take one of each card and we'll pull 10 out, and those are the cards we'll use. And you take all of them out. Well, you might take a few out depending on how many people you're playing with, but that's all very clearly in the rules. And you're going to lay them out on the table. And then along with these cards, these are all action cards. So the 25 different action cards. Along with the 25 different action cards, of which you'll play with 10, there are also other victory point cards. So that we've seen the estates, and then there are duchies, which are worth 5 victory points. Oh, that's the trash card. Duchies. And there are provinces. That's not a province, that's a garden. There are provinces. Nope. They're somewhere. They're worth 6 victory points. And they are really the pinnacle of what people go for. Okay, so, and then you're also going to have, possibly, you're going to have some curses out. You might have cards that give you curses if you're being attacked. And then a trash pile where you might get rid of some of your cards as you go through the game. So on your turn, you're going to take 5 of your cards. In fact, you do that at the end of your previous turn, so you're ready to play. You know what you've got in your hand, and you can plan out what you're going to do on your turn. And you play an action if you have one, and if you don't have one, then you can buy any card from the table of which you have the treasure that you can pay for that in your hand of 5 cards. So if you draw a hand on round 1 of 5 coppers, you can buy a card that costs up to 5. Now, most of these cards cost less than 5. Provinces cost 8, so you won't be able to buy them at the beginning of the game. But you can buy more treasure. Treasure that is silver costs 3, but it gives you 2 when you use it. So you have that every time. So once you've bought that, you can use it. It forms part of your deck. Or gold gives you 3 points, but it costs you 6. And you're going to buy action cards which allow you to do different things. So on your turn, normally you can have one action. See, and you draw your 5 cards at the end of the previous go, and you have one action, and then you can buy stuff. But a lot of these cards give you extra actions. They might let you draw extra cards. There might be a card that says draw 3 cards. They might be attacking other players. And so you have to decide on your strategy, because you don't know which card you're going to pick up each time. You're going to shuffle your deck at the end of when you've gone all the way through it, and you're going to pick up 5 cards from the top. But you know which cards you're buying, right? So you can combine, you can buy the cards that are going to be best in combination together. And so as you go through the game, your hand becomes much richer. The actions you can take are combined with each other. The treasure that you have is much greater, and you can buy increasingly expensive cards. So when you're able to produce, when you're able to get 8 treasure in a go, there we are, you can buy your province. And the game finishes when all of the province cards have gone, or when 3 of the action card piles have run out. It's brilliant. This game is one of my favourites. I've just written a blog post about my 8 games for different situations, and this is one of them. It is one of the best games for teenagers. It just hooks them in and gets them excited, and you can play, because there's so many different ways to set it up. There's so many different possibilities, and there's something totally satisfying about being able to work out what you're going to do and have these sort of combinations all that you're planning, and then it all comes together, and it's absolutely brilliant. We play this more than any other game probably in the house. We've got a couple of different sets. I want to get another one. This is Dominion.